No matter how long time passes, this is still so hard to believe. I had to try to sleep on it. I know I made a video earlier. I had to really just kind of get my emotions out and just talk it out, even though like I don't actually am a fan of either of these teams realistically. But as an NBA fan, this is so massive that we can't even put it into words. Like, honestly, what a blockbuster deal. This is game changing for the league. Maybe not now, maybe you don't see it. We're going to discuss who I think won this trade, what do I think happens next, all that. I appreciate you guys for coming through. I know I haven't really been uploading on this channel. This is my new NBA podcast channel, so welcome aboard. I'm going to be actually active for once. It's about time. So make sure you smash that like button, subscribe for more NBA info all day, every day. That's what we're trying to get to. But Anthony Davis traded for Luka Doncic. Luka, the man, the myth, the legend. I don't think people realize how good Luka is, no matter what is actually happening right now. I know they're saying he's like 300 pounds, out of shape, no defense. They didn't want to pay him $350 million for the next 5 years. All that, I get it 100%, but he is still the guy that's technically a generational athlete. There's very few that come around. This guy's been playing professionally since he's been 13 years old out there in the EuroLeague. He won MVP out there. He's always in the talks for MVP. He's only 25 years old. Maybe he just had a crazy summer. Maybe this or that. He just came off of the NBA Finals. I know they lost, but they lost to a Boston team that was stacked, and they wouldn't have been there without him. So that's all stuff we need to talk about. I'm going to be posting a video on my other channel at Most Ballin' of me just watching Luka play this year, because I feel like we don't know. Like, I don't know what the Mavs were looking at. Obviously, it's new ownership. Mark Cuban would never, ever do this. He said he would divorce his wife before he gets rid of Luka. And I'm sure if he knew this would happen, he probably wouldn't have sold the team, if we're being realistic, just because of how much he loves Luka. I showed yesterday that all these players were so confused, including Dirk. I think everyone's confused. And the wildest part about all of this is none of these players knew about it. Like, the fact that a trade like this could happen where LeBron doesn't know, AD doesn't know, Luka doesn't know, is mind-boggling. It's mind-blowing. So basically what happened was Luka Doncic and the Mavs, well, we'll say the Mavs actually, the Mavs just wanted to get rid of him. Did they shop around? No, it seems like they asked two teams. They asked one team, and the team said no, they don't want Luka, which is wild. And then they asked the Lakers, and to be honest, as much as the Lakers have been great to watch this year, Anthony Davis is playing at an incredible level. LeBron James and them is a great duo, and they've been building great pieces for JJ Redick and all that. The one thing we do have to note is, if you have an opportunity to trade for Luka Doncic, I think there's only 2 or 3 teams in the league that should say no, if we're being realistic. The only guys that I think are untouchable for Luka before this season, we'll say. We won't say right now because we don't know what's happening right now. Something has to be happening. But if you're talking before this season started, right after that finals run, I know he wasn't playing defense. I know they got beat up bad. Think about it. Who's not getting traded? Wemby? I can see a really great argument for Giannis. And then Jokic is up there, even though at his age, he's a little older, a little bigger, all that. And then you can make arguments that you wouldn't trade like a Tatum because they just want to chip, all that. But overall, just thinking about it realistically, it really makes no sense. I know you can make other arguments for like a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but that's really it. Like, there's really nobody else. I don't care, man. Bro, if you put any person up for trade, any team, think about it. Nah, you're trading for Luka. You're not saying no. It's literally just the Wemby, the Giannis, the Jokic, and you'd be crazy not to trade Tatum, to be honest. But I mean, I guess because they're the defending champs, they look good, and they're still looking good. But even if you're a Cavalier team that's number 1 in the East, even if I think you're OKC and you're number 1 in the West, I think if you can make a move like that, you probably do it on a business standpoint just because of Luka's ceiling and all that. Maybe, like I'm saying before this year started. Now maybe you say, nah, Shai is not. You let me know what you guys think. But the fact that this is what the trade, that's all it took. The fact that they didn't shop around. I know there's like a week left of the deadline. All-Star break is coming up, all that. But I feel like it was so rushed. It was so rushed. They didn't even try. Honestly, I don't know where the Jazz came from, just getting Jalen Hood. And just so the trade can make sense or work its way out, they're getting picks and all that. And Man, no comment, no comment. So let's discuss who this trade actually benefits better. So if we'll start with Dallas, I guess, and I'm gonna try to put this into 2K. I'll try to play with both these teams and play now, see how they actually feel, how they look. But obviously, I feel like one of these teams is not complete and they need to make other changes. We'll get to that. The Mavericks, on the other hand, they do look great right now. Like, forget the fact that Luka just got traded. If we think that Luka's injured and he'll come back someday, or we just forget that he ever existed for a second, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, as well as Klay Thompson, plus they got Derek Lively. Let's think about this. Anthony Davis been trying to play the four for a minute. He literally just said we need a center. So Rob Pelinka said, yo, you want Derek Lively? And then he said, yeah. And then he's like, all right, so pack your bags, get on out of here, go play over there. That's kind of what happened. Now he's going to be happy playing his four role. I think that team looks so deadly on paper, even in person. Like, they're gonna be so good. The only real issue is that their ages, right? Their ages is a huge issue. They're all older guys. Clay's kind of at the end, Kyrie's kind of there. Like, how many more years are we getting a prime AD, or if he is prime? Like, the fact that the Dallas Mavericks said they're kind of trading him because they don't see him being like there or that much because of his weight or his injuries or all that, and then they trade for a guy like Anthony Davis doesn't make too much sense, because as great as AD's playing this year, he's literally injured right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like one of those things where the sense doesn't exist. You get me? Now, the Lakers, on the other hand, how does this actually work? So it's a great trade, like I said, because of the fact that if anyone has an opportunity to take Luka, you gotta take it. He's actually not signed right now, so they're gonna have to offer him something in the summer, or he could technically walk, something of that sort. We're gonna see how it goes. But if you could build around Luka for the future, you just went from LeBron at the end of his career. He's about to retire in a year or two or three. We're not going to say just a year because it's LeBron James. But if LeBron ends up staying, which is a possibility that he doesn't, all right, we're gonna cover every avenue, everything that could possibly happen. So LeBron being the face of the franchise for the past couple of years, then they were trying to make it AD. Now they're moving on to Luka. That's not a bad place to pivot. He's going to turn 26. He has a lot more MVP years that are going to happen no matter his weight, no matter this or that. Yes, he might not love basketball the way that some other players do, because he said he wasn't going to play forever like LeBron. He said he'll never break those records. He doesn't care that much. But this dude is one of the all-time great playoff performers. Even though he's never won anything, he's still young. No one's won at that young age, but his numbers say otherwise and all that. So they're getting that. And then they can, if they keep him, that's an incredible trade right off the bat. It's not like makes sense right now, especially if they don't get a center. I think to make this sense right now, I'm not even making sense anymore. None of my words are coming out correctly. But the only way this trade makes any sense at all is if they get a center that can defend the paint. Because Jackson Hayes ain't that guy. I know Jackson Hayes is gonna go crazy with Luka because they love throwing lobs and all that. But overall, like, you need a rim protector. You need one, especially that they've been playing great defense, but a lot of that has went to Max Christie, who was traded. He's been playing really well, but now those minutes are going towards DFS, who's been playing incredible. Vando just came back. If he can stay healthy, he's a great defender. Now they just need a real rim protector slash just a guy to deter like the guys down there, someone that could kind of contain Jokic. No one can obviously do that, but you need some help or some size, because them always throwing Rui on him or Vando just kind of causes too many issues. I think we all know that LeBron loves Luka, right? They kind of are similar players. So is this going to be great for them? I know LeBron can play with superstars. We know Luka can play with superstars. But we've never seen this type of superstardom together at the end of the day. Yes, we saw Steph and KD, but they kind of mesh. The same way LeBron and Steph would mesh. You feel me? That would mesh. These are pretty much clones of each other. One's just younger. Like, this is what Luka's what LeBron would be if he entered the game today. You know what I mean? Except a little bit more athletic, obviously, and obviously a better defender at the younger age. But It's gonna be so interesting, so weird. I can't imagine the Lakers are done. They have to be planning something. We know they can't technically trade LeBron. I've been talking about it, and I've been saying, like, if the right move is that they're probably trying to move him now and getting him to take off his trade clause. Like, he obviously has a trade clause, but he can agree to certain situations, right? He can agree to go into Golden State, for example. Yes, we all know he wants to play with Bronny, and we all know the Warriors said they were willing to take Bronny if it meant getting Bron. So can they end up doing that and probably getting some interesting pieces like a Wiggins, a Gary Payton II, like a couple of those guys to move on over to LA? It's a possibility. That's if they're trying to, like, they're like, all right, we're not winning now with LeBron and Luka. We're not going after a center. We're just going to try to, like, take Luka to another level. I don't know what's up with them not obviously wanting to move Reeves. They're trying to do something with Luka and Reeves the same way that they had with the, what's it called? Like, the Mavs had a bunch of guards working with Luka at the time. They had Brunson, they had Kyrie, Spencer Dinwiddie, like, so many opportunities or possibilities. So they know it could work. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on in everyone's head. That's what I wish we could know, man. I wonder what JJ Redick is going through. Because if you're JJ Redick, like, so much has happened for you in this short period of time in LA. Like, besides the fires and losing your house, but, like, obviously he has a great relationship with LeBron, but, like, winning that locker room in general, it probably was really easy. I don't think that stuff was hard because he was a player recently, and a lot of guys have mad respect for him. Like, Connect coming in, you have Reeves, all these guys look up to him as a shooter and a guy that made a great career, a long career in the NBA. But now you're obviously, Luka played with him too. Let's not mention that. Like let's not forget. It's actually insane to think that these two dudes just played with each other not that long ago. They were teammates, and now he gets to coach him. It's happened a few times in life, but it's actually really cool and sick, and I'm sure it's gonna work out in a sense. Now, one thing I also see is this same exact day, 17 years removed, right? The Lakers traded for Pau Gasol 17 years ago, and that worked tremendously. They won 2 championships with Gasol being Kobe's backup or punch 1-2, combo. Now, the question is, can Luka be LeBron's 1-2 combo on the same day in history to make it one of the craziest deals? I feel like the Lakers always know how to make some insane deals. They technically traded for, Shaq. They traded for Kobe. Even if you go further back, they traded for, like, the big dogs, man, like the Wilts and all this. They're always able to find a way to get people to come, and it makes sense. It's LA. It's the Staples Center. I don't care what they say about crypto, censor.com, whatever, but it's still LA. Like, it's obviously a place people would love to. It's the purple and gold, the house that Kobe built, all that. Like, it's going to be a really interesting opportunity to present itself. I can't wait to see what other trades happen. I know this is not it. We still haven't seen Jimmy Butler move. He has to be moving. He doesn't even want to play. Like, you know what I mean? We've been hearing a lot of trade talks with, like, guys like Zach LaVine. Miles Turner's in trade conversations every single year, so I'm not even going to discuss that. Like, that is what it is at this point. But there's so many guys that honestly, no one is untouchable. That's what we gotta say, right? 0 players are untouchable. Think about it. If Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic could get traded, what does that tell you? You really think that your beloved Cam Thomas or your Scotty Barnes or your Jalen Brunson, at this point, anyone can be traded, man. I don't care. That's actually insane. We've seen some wild trades overall in the past couple years. Obviously, Karl Anthony Towns trade was crazy. Even the Gobert deal got more than this, to be fair. We've seen, obviously, the Paul George trade was wild back in the day. The one to OKC was crazy. And then with the Clippers, we've seen bad trades all around, like trades that you might have not been able to predict. But this kind of brings me, what do you guys think of the Luka Doncic for Trae Young trade that happened back in the day? Did the Hawks win? I'm kidding. That trade, I've seen people saying, because I was saying it's crazy that Luka got traded before Trae, and then people were like, oh, that means the Hawks won that trade. And I don't see it happening, because, like, the Mavs actually made it to the finals last year, right? And I love Trae Young. He should have been an all-star. I talked about that yesterday, how he got snubbed. But overall, I don't know. Like, this trade is so weird. It's so weird. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the Lakers are gonna rebuild around Luka, get rid of Bron, or are they Bron and Bron? You see what I said there? What I did there? Pookie Bear. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But realistically, there's so many possibilities. Are they gonna go after a big and try to win now with Luka and LeBron? That kind of is a deadly lineup. I don't know if it's better than having AD and LeBron though. I that's what's really confusing to me. Like if they get a Miles Turner, honestly, with Miles Turner protecting the paint, one of the best shot blockers in the league, then you got a guy like Vando and Dorian Finney-Smith playing defense. You got Reeves, you got Luka, you got LeBron. That's a pretty solid team. I guess that might be better than having AD. Or like Max Christie's been balling, but I don't know. It's gonna be weird. The Mavs, I think, are good regardless. If that was their decision, that was their mind. I know a lot of Mavs fans are no longer Mavs fans. I'm seeing a lot of them jumping on the Laker, not bandwagon. They're just following Luka. I've seen so many people saying they can't cheer for Dallas no more, and rightfully so. I can't even imagine if I was a Dallas Maverick fan right now. I'd be not just confused, I'd be upset. Like straight up just mad. I'd be furious of like hating everything going on. Like it just made no sense. It was so out of left field. Cause I'm sure he would have resigned. I'm sure. Was it how much money? You could have asked him to take less. You gotta trust. It's the new ownership at the end of the day. But yeah, I really needed to just talk on this a little more. I'm sure we'll have more things to talk about trade wise and more things to discuss. I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys. Let me know what you guys think. I love to read all that stuff. I don't have friends that I get to talk about basketball with, so that's why this channel was even created to begin with back in the day. So let's hope we can make that stuff happen. I'll be seeing you guys later. And hopefully we'll be seeing some insane more trades to be talked about. I don't know if we can handle anything like that again. Twitter went crazy yesterday. We thought Shams was hacked until we saw it on his IG. Like his Twitter was like, oh my god, and then we saw it on IG and we're like, oh my god, like even more. Oh my god. That's all we gotta say, man. That's all we gotta say. What a deal. What a trade. See you guys later. It's been your boy Most, and thanks for doing the most.